Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank the Hong Kong Council of Social Service for the honor of speaking at this year's 2022 Gerontech and Innovation Expo and Summit. My name is Ganbold Baasanjav, and I am the head of Office for East and Northeast Asia of the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific. As many of you know, the East and Northeast Asia is home to countries which are not only technologically advanced, but also home to a growing number and share of older persons. Due to significant improvements in health, sanitation, hygiene, food, and overall socioeconomic development, life expectancy at age 60 more than doubled in East and Northeast Asia from 12 years in 1950 to 23 years in 2022. By 2050, an older person at age 60 is projected to live for an additional 26 years. This calls for radical rethinking in societies that had been originally built for a much younger population. Rather than implementing ad hoc responses to some urgent policy-related issues, it is important to recognize that population aging starts from the moment people are born. The life course approach to population aging emphasizes the sequential events and development throughout a person's life affect the situation of an older person later in life. The Madrid International Plan of Action on Aging was adopted by the United Nations member states in 2002, offering a comprehensive action plan to build societies for all ages. The Madrid Plan of Action has three priority directions, namely older persons and development, advancing health and well-being into old age, and ensuring enabling and supportive environments. In 2022, the fourth review and appraisal of the Madrid Plan of Action in Asia and the Pacific highlighted priority areas, lessons learned, and good practices in advancing its implementation in the region. Member states and non-government stakeholders emphasized the importance of providing long-term care to older persons, including at the community and local levels. They also highlighted the impact of climate change, natural disasters, and emergencies on the health and well-being of older persons. Moreover, they also called for optimizing and investing in the use of digital technologies and innovative means and mechanisms to address the various challenges and opportunities of population aging. As per our in-house report on leveraging technology for the Madrid International Plan of Action has shown, progress has been made in developing and using technology for the benefit of older persons and their families. Within Asia and the Pacific, we have seen the application of technology in education and community care, but also in terms of food, medical services, and infrastructure. Many of the improvements, as well as new products and services, have contributed to making cities and communities more livable for all age groups. In terms of policy areas to strengthen, universal design standards must be harmonized and mainstreamed. This would allow older persons or persons with disabilities to access, understand, and use technology more easily. Moreover, we have to improve digital literacy and the affordability of technology. To that end, ESCAP has also published a report using information and communication technologies to address the healthcare needs of older persons managing chronic disease, which also showcases good examples of telemedicine, managing systems, decision support, and cloud platforms around the Asia-Pacific, and how ICT policies can complement such emerging technologies. As societies increasingly go digital, through the use of digital payments, e-government services, to even food delivery, there is a need to urgently narrow the divide in capability in the utilization of frontier technologies, such as in the use of smart computing devices, not only to access services, but also for information and communication. Such training programs will not only better assist seniors at interacting intergenerationally and help to build society's links. It also works at improving their overall independence and well-being as more of society shifts increasingly towards the electronic space, which also includes the purchase of goods and services. However, we should take advantage of the wealth of experiences that have been built up by the generations that are retiring in the sharing of knowledge to younger generations and ensuring the continuity of knowledge transfer in society. Labor and educational policies should also transform and encouraging retired or near-retiring seniors to become educators for the younger generation. And perhaps a more consultative and ad hoc training formats taking into account capabilities of environment in such formats. Social as well as health policies and programs need to be regularly reviewed and coordinated among public-private partnership actors and be data-driven, with a renewed emphasis on the overall quality of life. In Korea, for example, social outreach and networking programs found significant positive improvements in health, attitude to the life, and happiness through such programs, even through, in terms of material standards, there were no changes to the participants' life, which shows that taking care of the elderly's social and entertainment needs are just as important as taking care of the physical needs through poverty and access policies. These policies can also overlap with greater economic objectives as seen through the development of rail travel packages targeting the Silver Group in Korea, which not only promotes their health through the increased physical activity, but also affords them to opportunity to increase their social networking circles, while strengthening local economies through the increased tourism and cultural awareness for local products. With proper planning and coordination between actors, aging societies can still bring broad economic growth across the country. Regionally, policy coordination could be improved, with forums such as this Expo and Summit being critical means to sharing knowledge about new developments and best practices. Joint forums in the region couldn't only improve reach to broader audience with increased cross-border collaboration, but also bring an important discussion network for the joint implementation of programs and delivery of perspectives to consider. And each locality will have their own unique characteristics. In order to accelerate regional diffusion of gerontechnology, it is important to note that much of Asia-Pacific region this year will be implementing the regional comprehensive and economic partnership, reducing much of the tariff barriers for the spread of gerontechnology in Asia. However, many of the impediments that remain are related to non-tariff barriers. Of these, a key element is the development of mutual recognition treaties, which could be expanded upon the existing work which has been ongoing due to the COVID-19 pandemic towards pharmaceuticals, medical equipment, as well as food, targeting the silver market, but also be broadly applied across the various sectors and lead towards closer integration in the region. Ideally, the national agriculture, healthcare, and quality standards as examples are harmonized across the region. This will facilitate negotiations for the processes of mutual recognition, which will not only speed up the deployment of innovative technologies, but also help to reduce the cost for health and social care, to which the elderly may be more cost sensitive due to the loss of income post-retirement and the likely increase of medical-related expenditure due to general declining health. Other areas of regional cooperation which are intricately linked together is the joint development of products and services with common test beds for testing, joint certification, and of course the recognition of intellectual property. To that end, academia and nursing homes, manufacturers from across the region can very well start the ball rolling on smaller scales, and governments can definitely support through more accommodative policies, but also likely to the industry-led in guiding the conversation. To that end, we hope that forums such as those that we are attending today will form the networking basis for such engagements in the future. These developments could form policy templates for greater global integration, which not only positively impacts the elderly, but potentially across all generations and fostering trust and the integration of economies. Please note that ESCAP has created a website dedicated to population aging. On the website, we are providing the latest statistical information on aging, and we are currently finalizing a dashboard of policies on aging, including good practices from countries in the region. The use of technology is also highlighted. The website also provides access to papers and documents on population aging. ESCAP is also offering capacity building support to member states wishing to revise existing policies on population aging and designing action plans, strategies, and monitoring frameworks. I wish to thank everyone for their efforts and interest in improving the life of older persons everywhere. I look forward to productive discussions and sharing of experiences at this year's Expo and Summit. ESCAP stands ready to support you in making some of the discussions actionable. Thank you.
Thank you, Ganbold. It's our honor to have Ganbold speaking to us, and we grab this golden chance to have an in-depth dialogue with him. May I now invite Mr. Chua Hoi Wai, Chief Executive of the Hong Kong Council of Social Service, to explore how policy frameworks could help promoting gerontechnology adoptions, especially in Asia-Pacific region and Hong Kong. Mr. Baasanjav and Mr. Chua, please.
Ganbold, thank you so much for your excellent presentation, which gave us an international perspective of population aging and the responses of the UN, the ESCAP, and various countries. You mentioned that the COVID-19 pandemic has brought unprecedented challenges to the world, and older people face the most serious threats. I would like to ask, have you seen the wider application of technology to support the elderly during the pandemic? And what do you think about the role of innovation and technology for enhancing the quality of life of older people after the pandemic?
Yeah, the COVID-19 pandemic has indeed resulted in serious threats and challenges to older people. But I believe our responses provide a myriad of opportunities moving forward. With regards to specific technologies, we have seen to some extent the increasing usage of digital technologies as a means to keep track of the vaccination status, for example. So we hope that this will continue to be built upon to have comprehensive digital health records for all, which will not only allow for better treatment across health facilities internationally, and potentially with the right data privacy laws in place, also for preventive health screening through the usage of artificial intelligence. But there are risks involved in personal privacy due to the increased level of digitalization that is occurring, as increasingly not only financial but biometric and personal health and other kinds of data are stored in myriad of databases connected through the internet. So while the accumulation of data has the potential to deliver highly customized services and care, it can, in the wrong hands, be a detriment to society, as we are already seeing through the rise of phishing and other cyber-related attacks targeting not only the elderly, but in general, less cybersecurity-aware segments of the population. Law enforcement, consumer protection, and data privacy laws will need to regularly review procedures and regulations, as do companies that provide services or store data digitally to ensure proper protection of everyone. To some extent, we already see this occurring, as you mentioned, the protection for to all older people as well. Thank you.
I see. Thank you very much. I think that is a very good reminder. I think all of us, no matter elderly people or younger people, are very concerned about the privacy. So I think it is very important. And I would think that the government should also have various policies or measures to ensure that the privacy is properly protected. And well, I have a second question. It's about intergenerational cohesion. You mentioned that it is very important to facilitate older people to interact with people across all generations. And the society should leverage on the knowledge of these retired or retiring cohorts. Do you think there is any role in the technology to enable such intergenerational knowledge transfer and social cohesion?
Yes, to some extent, we already see this occurring with the video call tools being used to keep families connected together and interact with grandchildren remotely, where a physical meeting may be challenging. Augmented or virtual reality systems in the use of training could indeed be used when designed in conjunction with the subject matter experts be a means of passing down knowledge. So we already see the development of masterclass sessions, which essentially are knowledge transfer mechanisms. Technology in this instance are enablers that allows for the capture and repetition of information that would otherwise have had to take place in person through education institutions, but can now function as a means of knowledge repositories, much like how books and the written word transformed the means of knowledge transfer in history from oral traditions. In addition, virtual reality, while still in nascent developing stage, has also seen interesting development due to COVID pandemic in the form of virtual tours and meeting places. Virtual tours could help mobility impaired seniors to experience more of the world without leaving the country and interact with others, whether through a guided tour or by themselves, and perhaps restart the age of pen pals, but in virtual format to friends made online and in existing social platforms. It is indeed could be of some help in replacing the Rolodex.
I see. Interesting. Well, in Hong Kong, I would like to share with you that during the pandemic, say, for example, we have some elderly people living in institutes, like elderly homes, but because of this kind of anti-pandemic measures, visitation is for sometimes prohibited. So we also use this kind of communication tools, like various smartphone and so on, to facilitate families to visit, to talk to elderly people through internet. That is, I would say, is not the best, but well, at least we can enhance this kind of visitation, this kind of interaction between family members and elderly people. And the use of virtual reality is something which we are very interested to. And I really hope that we can have more such tools to facilitate this kind of knowledge transfer. I think that's something we have to look into. Actually, talking about this, I have seen, many countries have tried, different efforts to develop different kinds of technologies. But, sometimes I have a sense that sometimes we're repeating others' efforts. And you mentioned, which I agree very much, the importance of joint development of such technological products or services, and also maybe some kind of test beds, or even some kind of joint certification or recognition of intellectual properties. Do you have any recommendations to policymakers to facilitate this kind of regional collaborations? And how about the R&D institutes or business or NGO sectors? Can we also participate in this kind of initiatives?
Yes, so industry itself can actually lead the way, as it is often at the forefront of the development of new products where applicable. Common design standards, such as those we tend to see in the electronic industry, could be useful reference, especially for some software and platform-based systems. One of the most fundamental and persistent problems within the technology for active aging ecosystem is the lack of awareness of the existence and importance of these products, as the technology for active aging industry is relatively new. The Gerontech and Innovation Expo Summit in Hong Kong, China, demonstrated how this event would leverage on the momentum from large-scale exhibitions to not only raise awareness, but also spur local technology for active aging ecosystem development. So therefore, creating a partnership and networking platform to raise awareness of aging-related technologies with the presence of all related stakeholders to promote cross-sector partnership and collaboration through various projects, and to facilitate the development of geotechnology would be a good option.
Yes, well, I can't agree more. Actually, when we started to organize this Gerontech and Innovation Expo Summit about 6 years ago, we started in 2017. When we started that, we engaged the government to co-organize this event. And we said that, although we had seen this kind of technologies on the internet, maybe sometimes people shared some new products on Facebook or other social media. Still, we thought that is quite far from the reality. We might thought that that's something in the lab, not really available in the market. So we discussed with the government. We said that we should organize this kind of expo so that people can come to see, to touch, and even try these products in our exhibition. And when they see the product, they will believe that it's something really available in the market. So I think we got very good response from the public. And every year we see tens of thousands of people visiting our expo. And then we also promoted the development of the market, because when more people are interested, then the business sector are more interested or more willing to invest into this area. And I do think that I look for more opportunities of regional collaboration, and I believe that the ESCAP or your office, the East and Northeast Asia Pacific office, I look forward to you to take a lead to bring more people together in the region to collaborate, to share the experience. Do you think that we can have some kind of collaboration with your office, so that, for example, that's just an example. Say when we organize the expo next year, we can bring people from other countries to Hong Kong, so that we can discuss how we can work together to further develop technology for elderly people. What do you think?
Yes, exactly. United Nations and ESCAP as an economic commission for Asia and the Pacific. So we are mandated to bring together experts, industries, and practitioners and customers on usage of technologies. In this case, frontier technologies, new products for older people, for their active aging, engaging more with the social, active social life, and remain communicated with the, as we discussed, through the generational lines. Exactly. So we will be very pleased to be part of this whole journey to convene more forums and meetings and organize the exhibitions like this. Certainly to share the views and ideas, and of course further promote the technologies you, for example, exhibiting this time. So raising awareness of aging-related technologies and disseminating good practices are very important elements for ESCAP to strengthen regional collaboration on technology for active aging. So in this connection, organizing a joint event would provide mutual benefits to both Hong Kong Council of Special Service and ESCAP across all these programs and platforms. We use to engage the region and countries and industries, communities together. So for example, in this case, so we'll be very happy to be a part of this whole discussion and innovative solutions to assist our older people in our society.
I see. That's great. Thank you so much. I can think that if we have more this kind of collaboration, that really can promote the development in different places. For example, recently I have been looking at the development of telemedicine or telerehabilitation in Hong Kong. And this year, because of the fifth wave of the pandemic, we really had quite a lot of people being infected. And then the hospitals, are really, did not have the capacity to cater for so many patients. And the government started to, develop this kind of telemedicine. In the past, we didn't invest, in this area because Hong Kong is a very small city. People living very closely together, and it's quite convenient for us to go to hospitals, to go to clinics, and so on. And so, in the past, people think that telemedicine is not needed, but now it is very needed. And then when I look at other places like Vietnam, like Cambodia and other places, I found that, they have developed this kind of solutions much earlier, possibly because many people live in countryside. They might not be able to go to hospitals so readily like Hong Kong. So they have this kind of, initiative much earlier. So if we can come together, I think we can learn from each other. And that would be very good opportunities for, promoting the development of gerontechnology. Actually, I think this is maybe the strength of the Asia Pacific region, because we have countries with different developmental status or stages, and then we have but sometimes when we start late, but we can learn from the experience of other countries, more advanced countries maybe. So do you agree? Do you think we can do more in the Asia Pacific region to promote the adoption of technology?
Absolutely. Asia Pacific not only has a large demographics to which the development of technologies, goods and services can serve as a market for it, but it also has the advanced capabilities for developing it, with many strengths, not only in the manufacturing of goods, but also in the frontier technologies, such as artificial intelligence. Mm. However, alone, a company may struggle to accelerate its deployment or awareness raising of the existence of helpful products and services, to which in some instances might be best deployed within the public sphere rather than the private sector. A partnership, whether through the use of incubation schemes, development assistance projects, or through forums such as these, play an important role in accelerating deployment, as awareness is half the battle in technology adoption and deployment. Many governments are already taking more active steps in forming partnerships through national laboratories or its own accelerator programs. And companies and startups can do the same. In some cases, organizational realignment itself could help the promotion of active aging while stimulating the local economy, such as mentioned in Korea with rail services linking up with local tour operators in municipalities to promote active lifestyles and local goods as well as cultural experiences, while primarily again providing the volume necessary to keep costs low. Thanks to these technologies, certainly the countries that you mentioned, advanced and the developing countries, increasingly come together, sharing their best practices, technologies, effectively addressing their challenges in this, for example, in this very important social sector, addressing their needs to keep up, for older people to keep up the pace of the social development, and also be an active member of our society.
Good. Thank you so much for your sharing this morning. I think this set a very good scene for our discussions in the summit. We have quite a lot of speakers from different countries, and I hope that this will stimulate, especially for Hong Kong, our audience from Hong Kong. This will stimulate more development and promote more collaboration in this aspect. And I look forward to more collaboration with you and the ESCAP, and to promote the development of technology in the whole region. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Look forward to more collaboration with you, and also wish you a very successful summit.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Mr. Chua. Thank you.